Assalamualaikum and hi everyone. Today I will show you my project assignment for BEEC2363 DataStructure and Algorithm. Let me introduce myself. My name is Muhammad Zulaim bin Jamaluddin. My group member is Muhammad Aikal bin Muhammad Rizwan, Muhammad Darwisi bin Jusaini, Muhammad Hamizan bin Suhaimi and Zahir Hakimi bin Rozilan. For introduction, we were instructed to develop a program for this assignment that will allow us to calculate the mark for subject in the OOP class, Object-Oriented Programming. This program allows the user to subject mark be inserted, subject mark deletion, subject can be add up to 5 addition, subject can be deleted until the data is empty or null. Next, what is Object-Oriented Program, OOP? OOP is a procedural programming about writing procedure or function that perform operation on the data, while object-oriented programming is about creating object that contain both data and function. In object-oriented programming has several advantages over procedural programming. OOP is faster and easier to execute. Next point, OOP provide a clear structure for the program. Third point, OOP help to keep C++ code dry. It means don't repeat yourself and make the code easier to maintain, modify and debug. Next point, OOP make it possible to create full reusable application with less code and shorter development time.
Assalamualaikum, my name is Muhammad Haikal from class 2 BEEC 1/1. Want to explain about function header mark.h. As you can see, we put class mark as a class as to create a file which contain the function and the variable. After that, we put private integer size equal to 0 and delete. For marks, we use float, and for total and average, we also use float. This is for variable. Next one, we use public as to declare our function mark integer. For void in mark integer, we use as key in all marks, float calc total integer for calculate total, float calc average for calculate average. This is for display. Next, void insert mark for insertion mark, and lastly, void delete mark for deletion mark. That's all from me. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum, my name is Muhammad Darwisi and I will be explaining for the function file. In this function file, it will be used to create functions in this program that will be called into the main program, which is important to make the program work. In this program, mark.h, which is the header of this project, will be included because to declare the function mark of this program. The first function that will be used is the constructor, which we use the dynamic array to declare for marks, and then there is constructor to delete the mark. The next function is the inMark, which is for deciding how many marks to be inserted and the mark using the for loops. Next function is calculate total, which is for calculating the total mark of all mark that was inserted into the program. Next function is calculate average, which will calculate the average mark, and then display mark, which will display all mark that was inserted and to be inserted. Next is insert mark, which is for one of the options, so the user can add a new mark into the program, which will be limited to only 5 new marks. Finally is the delete mark, which is for the option 2, which the user will delete the mark in the program and only will stop when there is no mark left. That's all from me. Thank you.
My name is Muhammad Hamizah Besumi. I would like to present about executable source code in main program file. So at the line 19, new data entry equal to 5, which means we set the variable new data entry to the 5. And the next line, grading.in underscore mark quantity underscore element, which means we call the inMark function of the grading object and pass the value of qty underscore element as argument. And the next line, grading.disp qty underscore element, which means we call the display function of the grading object and pass the value of the quantity element as argument. And another cout at the bottom, just display the total of average, the mark, as well as the remaining data entry and data deletion allowed. So that this program enter the do while loops that prompt the user for option 1 to insert the new mark and 2 to delete the mark. If the user choose option 1, the program check if there are remaining new data entry. If there are, it prompt the user to enter the new mark. If the user choose option 2, the program check if there are any element to delete. If there are, it prompt the user for a position to delete and use the delete mark function to remove the mark at the position. So the program file call the ISP function again to display the update mark and display the total of average the mark, as well as the remaining data entry and data deletion allowed.
Hello, my name is Zaim Hakimi, and today I will show you output coding. So when we run the coding, the number of the mark to insert is 3. So the mark have 3 and we have to enter any value number. Then the output will calculate the total of the number of the mark and calculate the total of the average of the mark. After that, we can insert a new data entry remaining. We choose option number 1 to enter a new mark. We can enter a new value number on the mark. After we enter all the data, the new data entry remaining is 0, means that the maximum data entry have reached. So now I will show you the data deletion. So we choose option number 2 to delete the mark from the list. Let's say we can choose any position to delete. Let's say we choose number 5. So it is before deletion, we choose position number 5 to delete. So after deletion, there is only 7 elements of array only left. So now I will delete all the data deletion. So there is no more data to delete. Next, I will show you the output error. On this output error, when we want to insert a new mark, we enter the string value. The output coding will goes to error, and the output coding will continues to looping until infinity. So that's all for me. Thank you.